The Braves, they picked up infielder Nicky Lopez for uh, Tyler Hearn. They traded him away, left-handed pitcher. Um, I like that trade because it gives depth for the Braves in the infield, just in case anything happens to Albies or Arcia or Riley. And it also gives them time to rest if needed, going down the stretch. Um, Today, the Rangers acquired Jordan Montgomery and Chris Stratton from the Cardinals for infielders Thomas Saggis, right-handed pitcher Tekoa Roby, and left-handed pitcher John King. How you feel about that one?
I like that one. I think the Rangers are really going for it all at this point. They're not taking no shortcuts. They wanna pile up and get all the All Stars in, and really try to do some damage this postseason. So um, I know you didn't mention the Max Scherzer trade, but that trade that one worries me a little bit more just because it is Acuna's little brother.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's a superstar, man,
Yeah,
and a couple years from now, they might be kicking themselves in the butt, thinking, "Geez, I can't believe I got rid of Luis." His name's Luis, right?
Luis Angel. Yep.
Luis Angel. Yeah, man, that kid is like hold out a couple years with that kid. You don't know what you got. So,
Yeah,
um,
for sure.
but
And
I like.
The
Go ahead,
Mets
Jay.
part of that trade. The Mets are paying the rest of Max Scherzer's money that they owe him. So the Rangers win in this trade, especially if Max Scherzer can help them out in the late race in the AL West because the Astros they made some trades, um, so that's going to be interesting.
For sure.
The Blue Jays got Jordan Hicks today from St. Louis for right-hander Adam Kloffenstein and Sam Roberts. Um, I, as a Yankee fan, I don't like it because Jordan Hicks is nasty. Um, but it makes sense for them because Jordan Romano, their closer, just went down on the 10-day IL for shoulder strain. So it makes sense for them. How you feel about that?
Definitely strengthens the back end of their bullpen for sure. The kid Jordan Hicks is legit. Um, the guy Romano, honestly, I wasn't nervous like when he's coming in the late innings. I didn't think he's gonna close the door on us or anything like that. Even though he did make the All Star game this year,
Yep.
uh, but I still didn't have that. This guy's the real deal. He's gonna get you 3 outs and shut the door. There's always a chance. I feel like there's always a chance to still be in the game when he came in. Jordan Hicks, on the other hand, feel like he's the kind of guy. He's intimidating. So if he steps in on that mound in the last 3 outs of the game, you're like, we're in tough shape. It's gonna be a tough time to get out of this game.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Then the Astros picked up. They brought back Kendall Graveman for catcher prospect Corey Lee. That catcher can swing it. Um, I had him in MLB The Show last year when they did like their future stars cards, and that kid's deadly. Um, and then the Dodgers went out and got Lance Lynn and Joe Kelly from the White Sox. So the White Sox are completely selling, which I feel like we both thought that was going to happen with where they are in the standings right now. They let go. The Dodgers sent Trace Thompson, Nick Nastrini, and Jordan Leisure. For those of you who are always on this channel, Thompson might be a familiar name. Yes, that is Klay Thompson's brother. So he goes back. He goes to Chicago. Um,
Did he play with Chicago to start his
no,
career?
he was in the Dodgers. I think he got drafted by the Dodgers.
Okay.
Um, but I don't
He's
know.
leaving
Lance Lynn.
California, man. His brother's gonna miss him for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Um, I don't. I'm not big on Lance Lynn. I'm not big on him. He's mediocre at best this year. This season, he's been a flip of a coin for me. Joe Kelly, he's a nice arm to have in the bullpen. Um, nice guy to have in the locker room because he always has you guys back. I remember when the Yankees and Red Sox that I think it was Tyler Austin when he hit him and then that brawl happened and then when the Astros got caught cheating, um, he struck out Carlos Correa and he did like the little and Correa got mad. So, I mean, Joe Kelly, he's a good guy to have on your team. How you feel about that one?
Yeah, no, I love Joe Kelly, man. I think that was the last time we really fought Red Sox Yankees. So Joe Kelly definitely is a dude that you want on your team. Uh, Even though, yeah, I agree with you, Lance Lynn probably hasn't had the best year, but end of the day, the Chicago White Sox is just something going on in that organization where I feel like the guys really aren't excited to play for that. For that, I don't know if it's the manager, if it's the owners, or what's going on over there. Um, we've seen Lance Lynn pitch incredible. I think it might be just the situation of the team and where the team stands right now. That might be reflecting in his numbers a little bit. So it'll be good to see him this last half of the season in a playoff situation, most likely, right? We'll
Yeah,
see
for
how he
sure.
does. I think he definitely is the kind of guy that has some grit when he's pitching out there. So I'm looking forward to seeing him throw for them.
Yeah, and then for the next trade, Miami Marlins picked up reliever David Robertson from the Mets for Marco Vargas and Ronald Hernandez, catcher. How you feel about that one?
I love David Robertson, man. I really do. He's got a nasty cutter,
Hmm.
and he's got some serious velocity on his fastball. So he's definitely a guy that has also been in playoff situations. That's kind of gives you a veteran edge in the lineup in the dugout. So I think it's a good trade for the Marlins to add some veteran presence into their dugout for sure.
Yeah, um, he was part of the Yankees organization a couple years ago, and I was devastated when we didn't sign him back. And then he just hopped on the subway and went to New York to the Mets. So hopefully he can, but he stays in the NL East. So now that battle is gonna get real. Um, and then the Brewers trade for Carlos Santana with the Pittsburgh Pirates. They send over Johnny Severino. I like that trade, man. I think the Brewers have been playing some good baseball lately, and just again, like we've been saying, that veteran presence in the dugout. He hasn't really been part of like crazy successful teams, but he's been around some. I know he was part of that Indians team before they changed over the name to the Guardians. And they went to the World Series, ended up losing to the Cubs. Um, but for him to be in that lineup with the Brewers, I feel like he'll help them out a lot.
For sure. I think that's another one where both teams got what they needed. Johnny Severino, he's going to be a problem for sure.
Yeah.
But I think the Brewers really need something right now. They kind of got hot out of nowhere, and they're ready to do some damage in the postseason as well. So I'd like to see Christian Yelich definitely get himself in a situation where he gets to get on the stage again, the big stage again. So
Yeah.
I'm all for the Brewers going deep this postseason.
Yep. And then with the next trade, Um, Surprisingly, the Angels aren't trading Otani. Um, so what they did was they went and got Lucas Giolito and Ronaldo Lopez again from the White Sox. They got the number 2 prospect in their organization, a switch hitting catcher, Edgar Cuero, and left-handed pitching prospect Kai Bush. I like this trade. It gives them a good arm in the starting rotation and in the back end of the bullpen. And that's really what they've been needing. Sometimes they lack offense, and now teams are getting to the point where um, they get like today. Otani's at bat. There was a guy on first. There was a pass ball, and then the guy got on second. First base was open, and they just walked Otani. So the rest of the offense needs to step up. Hopefully, Trout can come back soon to help him out. Maybe put Trout to bat after Otani so that they won't walk him, because who wants to face Trout? You know. But how you feel about this one?
I mean, the Angels, I think, they're kind of just trying to stay afloat at this point. They don't want to lose Otani, and they should be a selling team, if I'm being brutally honest. Um, I mean, they have the greatest player. I mean, what they could have got for him, what they could have gotten for him for this trade deadline, would have definitely set them up for success in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they kind of dropped the ball because they're kind of emotionally invested in him, which I'm not upset about. But at the end of the day, it's a business, right? They should be trying to put themselves in a better situation in the future. But I think long term, what they're doing is they want to buy now, so that way they can try to convince Otani to stay in an Angels uniform. I
Yeah.
don't think that's going to be possible with the money that they're going to be offering him, and probably the living situations of the areas he can be. Like, he could be in a Dodgers uniform, he could be in Arizona, he could be places that maybe the East Coast too would be nice. But I don't know
Yeah.
how he feels about the weather over here. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I think the Angels should have definitely been a seller instead of a buyer. But it is what it is. And I would not be surprised if they don't make it too far in the playoffs this year, if they make it to the playoffs.
Yeah. Um, we'll get into where they're at in the wild card later on in the show. But yeah, I completely agree with you. They definitely should have sold, especially with um, they still have a chance to get Otani, because if they trade him away, he's just a rental for the next 2 months. So you still
Exactly.
got a chance for him to resign, give up on this season, get
Especially with Trout out of the lineup too.
yeah,
Trout's out of the lineup. You don't have Rendon on fire. You don't have your lineup on fire right now. So
yeah,
with that being said, you're winning because Otani is literally carrying your entire team to the playoffs, and I just don't see it working out in the future for them for this year at least.
yeah.
That's not an attainable goal at this point.
Talking about Otani carrying them, he's starting to feel it because he's cramping in his back and he's cramping in his legs. So they
Literally. Crazy.
so they definitely they messed up on that one. Um, the Dodgers go out and get Ahmed Rosario from the Cleveland Guardians, and they send Noah Syndergaard to the Cleveland Guardians. Um, that helps them out because they've been lacking a shortstop, and Ahmed Rosario is I would say above average shortstop defensively, but pretty average at the plate. But with their star-studded lineup, I don't see them needing like a huge bat. Um, he can he can get on base. He's quick, so he'll be able to help them out offensively for sure. And Syndergaard, I mean, he was having a bad year, so it's good that they were able to send him away. Maybe he needs a change of scenery, and maybe he'll help the Guardians out in their division push.
Yeah, I think the Dodgers definitely won this one. I think Ahmed Rosario is actually a great player all around. And I think the past couple of years, even though Noah Syndergaard did get pretty far in the World Series last year, and he was a big piece for the Phillies last season, I don't think that he's just so on and off like every year. One year he's great, one year he's not. Just because he's like a flamethrower, he can throw 100 miles per hour plus. I think Ahmed Rosario is a huge addition to that team compared to having Noah Syndergaard in your bullpen. And as we both know, the Dodgers have plenty of pitching. So
Yep.
yeah, I think the Dodgers definitely win that.
Yeah. And then for the next trade, the Minnesota Twins get Dylan Florio, and the Marlins get Jorge Lopez. They both are relief pitchers, so they pretty much just said, "I don't really like this guy. I like that guy. Do you like this guy? Oh, you guys like this guy, so you can have him." That's that'll help them out. I think Jorge Lopez has some good stuff. So Miami's doing what they got to do to get some help in the back end of the bullpen, which is where they were lacking in the beginning of the season or midway through. How do you feel about this one?
Hey, if maybe they just weren't a culture fit. Maybe one bullpen guy wasn't a culture fit, and they think the other would be. Sometimes you make those trades, and then the guy's not comfortable. They're gonna grind to get their spot. So yeah, I like it. I think the Marlins, what they're doing this year is honestly incredible. I did not expect what they're doing this year at all. So
Yeah, for
whatever
sure.
they can do, they already exceeded my expectations. So whatever they end up doing this season, I'll be giving them a round of applause for sure.
Yeah. And then the next trade, your Boston Red Sox send over Kike Hernandez to the Dodgers, um, send him back to where they got him from. And you guys get Nick Robertson, a right-handed pitcher, and Justin Hangenman. How do you feel
Yeah.
about this?
I'm just happy we got anything for Kike, to be honest. I mean, I love him. Like, great guy, right? He's like full of energy. The fans love him. I know people that are like extremely upset that he got traded. But end of the day, if you're not producing, Boston's not the place for you. So he did great in 2021 in the postseason, and that's really about it for him in Boston. When he came over in 2022, had a rough season. I think he batted probably 250 maximum last
Yeah.
season, and then this season he couldn't feel the ground ball. Was making terrible errors every time he was playing shortstop. But I did see Cora say, he wishes that instead of him going to the World Baseball Classic and playing center field for them, that he stuck around in spring training and really worked on his shortstop game instead of going to that. Uh, but that's really all he had to say about his performance. But I think with him, if his bat gets hot, he's hot. He's hot, man. And there's nothing that's really gonna stop him from hitting the ball. He'll get plenty of hits for you, but we're just we got way too many infielders right now that are actually hitting the ball and they're making the plays that there was no space for him on the team. And
Yeah.
especially Jaron Duran beat him up for center field as well. Verdugo's having an incredible year, and so is Yoshida. And then we also have Adam Duvall. So it's just a lot of depth in the outfield, and then the infield, he just was not making plays. So it is what it is, And then hopefully, this is a good move behind Bloom. We get two solid pitches out of this.
Yeah. Um, they're they're minor league guys, so might see them soon. Um, but and then we got a trade with the Marlins. The Marlins get another relief guy. They got Jose Castillo from the San Diego Padres, and the Padres get some cash. So the Marlins are taking care of Castillo's contract. Um, there's not much to say about that one.
Yeah.
So we can go on to the next one. We got the Braves. getting right-handed pitcher Pierce Johnson, and the Rockies get Victor Vodnik and Tanner Gordon, or 2 right-handed pitchers. I mean, the Rockies, they got nothing to play for. So the fact that they were able to get somebody for anybody on their roster is good for their future, and hopefully, maybe they can get their stuff together. And since they're selling, you can send over Randall Grichuk to the Bronx.
Yeah, I think that's a good move for the Yankees to make.
Yeah.
I would also like to see Charlie Blackmon in a different uniform as well. I mean, the Rockies have been having a tough time. They've had a lot of stars come through their organization, and it just seems like they just can't get anything going. I mean, I'm pretty sure they played in the World Series. What was? I don't want to just put a number out there, not the year, and just not know.
It was 07
against the Red Sox, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the last time I really think they were relevant. And they had some stars like Nolan Arenado, and it's like, geez, like a lot of people blame the field, but I don't know how much that has to do with it.
Yeah,
the hitter's ballpark. But
the field should help them out, if anything. So, yeah, I remember that year they had Tulo, they had Matt Holliday, they had Todd Helton. That team was good, and they still ended up getting swept. So,
Trevor Story also was with them at one point.
Yep, he was part of their organization. So DJ LeMahieu was part of their organization. So, I mean, they definitely had stars walk through the doors, like you said, but they just haven't been able to put it together.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Baltimore Orioles get some relief help with Shintaro Fujinami from the Oakland A's, and they send over Easton Lucas. Fujinami can throw that rock, man. He's got a devastating slider. He throws high 90s. And he actually pitched against the Yankees the other day, and he came in and did the job. It's gonna be fun to watch. Even though right now it's not a good thing to watch for the Yankees. First inning before Luis Severino even recorded an out, the Orioles put up 6. So maybe the Yankees should send him down because I'm tired of seeing him just complete. Just, dude, it's crazy. It's really crazy. They're saying like he's tipping pitches or something like that, and then he came back and had a good start, like 2 starts ago, and then he's just back to it's just the first inning. He can never get out of the first inning for some reason. He's got the yips, and it's just not ideal. Yeah. So let's go on to the next.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.